Okay, I want you to close your eyes for a second. We're going to do a little visualization. Imagine a heavy golden coin just sitting right there in the palm of your hand. It's cold, it's substantial, and it feels valuable.
It's a striking image.
Yeah.
And etched into it, there are three very specific symbols.
Right. You've got a heart. You've got a dollar sign.
And then connecting them, a network node-like atoms, all bonded together.
Exactly. And underneath all of that, there's this complex mathematical formula. This is the cover of the dossier we were breaking down today. It's the visual for what the source calls the power index plus, or Cotton-Mallers.
And usually, when we see a formula like that, variables, subscripts, our brains just sort of shut off. We think textbook or exam.
Oh, absolutely.
But the documents we're diving into today, this 2026 core revelation, they don't frame this as a math lesson. They frame it as an awakening, a financial awakening.
That's the whole vibe,
Yeah.
right? It's high energy. It's urgent. And the goal of our deep dive today is to decode that formula. We're going to figure out how this source claims you can convert a very specific health asset into a system that rivals, well, a multinational franchise.
We are looking at a very specific, very aggressive wealth model. It's a strategy that claims to move you from that linear growth, what most of us are stuck into, exponential volume.
And it all starts with a question that is, honestly, designed to stop you in your tracks.
I know exactly the one. It's the core of this entire presentation.
Are you a bucket carrier, or are you a pipeline builder?
That is the fundamental divide. Before we even touch the math of the Purnall formula or the superposition idea, we have to understand that distinction, because according to these sources, 99% of the world is, well, firmly on the wrong side of that equation.
So let's unpack that. I'm looking at the slide right now. There are only two types of people, and it's pretty spieled. On the left, you've got this rusty old metal bucket. It just looks tired, beaten up.
It represents the grind, the daily grind.
And the caption says 99% bucket carriers. The math there is simple. Income equals labor times time.
And that's the trap. It's active income. I mean, think about it. If your hands stop moving, the money it stops flowing. It doesn't matter if you're a CEO with a huge salary or factory worker. If you're trading hours for dollars, you're carrying a bucket.
Because you have to keep going back to the well every single day.
Exactly. And the source makes a really poignant point here. Buckets leak. They get heavy. And eventually the person carrying the bucket gets too old or too sick to carry it anymore. They call it linear limitation.
That's a terrifying thought, honestly. But it's the reality for most people. Now, you contrast that with the right side of the slide, and it's beautiful. It's this gleaming golden pipeline system connected to a massive tank labeled asset pool.
That's the 1%, the pipeline builders. Their equation is fundamentally different. Income equals assets times compound interest. They aren't working for the money. The system is working for them.
The tap is just open.
It runs automatically. The key phrase they use is system dependent.
You want to be dependent on a system, not on your own sweat.
Precisely. And that connects right back to those symbols on the coin you mentioned. The source defines true wealth as an intersection of three things. You need the heart, which is health. You need the dollar, which is wealth.
And you need the connections, the people.
Right. And the argument is, as a bucket carrier, you physically cannot have all three at the same time. If you're hauling buckets to get the dollars, you're sacrificing the heart, your health, your time.
And if you stop working to focus on your health, the dollars just dry up.
You can't haul buckets fast enough. You need a mechanism.
And that mechanism is what they call the power index plus. This is where we get into the secret sauce. Because a lot of people talk about passive income. It's a buzzword. But this source lays out a geometric argument for it. They talk about moving from flat thinking to volumetric thinking.
This is where the math gets really interesting, and we should pay close attention here because this is the engine of the whole claim. Most people get basic multiplication. If I find 3 people and they find 3, it grows. That's standard exponential growth, which they represent as $3.
Which they call flat thinking. It's shown as a simple flat gold triangle in the graphics.
Right. It's just the baseline. It's width. It's calculating growth on, let's say, the surface area of what you're doing right now. But the power index plus, that $100 formula, it adds a third dimension. It's not just about the current layer you're building. It's about stacked time.
Stacked time.
Brr.
Okay, that sounds like something out of science fiction. What does that actually mean for, my bank account?
Okay, imagine you're building a pyramid. Flat thinking is just looking at the bottom layer of bricks you laid today. You count them and say, okay, I laid 100 bricks. That's your growth.
Got it.
Volumetric thinking, The Power Index Plus, it accounts for the volume of the entire structure. It's the sum of all the historical generations stacking up underneath you.
So you're not just paid on the new bricks.
No. You're leveraging the weight and volume of the entire pyramid beneath you. It's all locked in.
There's a graph in here that shows this dimensional advantage. You've got a blue line, which is that standard $3 growth, and it curves up nicely. It looks like a good investment chart.
It looks fine. If you didn't know any better, you'd be pretty happy with that blue line.
Until you see the green line.
Exactly.
The green line is the Power Index Plus. It doesn't just curve, it goes vertical. It shoots straight up like a rocket. The slide calls it the exponential wealth explosion.
And that is the central claim. That traditional math actually hides the real potential of network compounding. Standard growth is an illusion compared to what happens when you account for this double layer, this stacking effect.
So if we strip away the fancy terms, they're basically saying, don't just build wide, build deep.
They're saying volume is where the explosion happens. Linear growth adds. Volumetric growth multiplies on top of itself.
Okay, so we've got the philosophy, pipeline over bucket. And we have the math, volume over flatness. But how does the machine actually work? Because the slides get very specific. We aren't talking stocks or real estate here.
No, it's a replication system. The source calls it the cornerstone of success. And interestingly, it's all built on the number 3.
The 3x3 replication.
Right, you are the master node. And to ignite this geometric explosion, you don't need to go out and recruit an army. You just need simple replication. You find 3 like-minded partners. That's generation 1.
Just 3. That's the magic number.
Just 3. Then those 3 find their 3. That's 9. Then 27. Then 81. It's a viral loop. It's biology meeting economics.
But there's an entry point. We have to talk about the buy-in. Those slides show a credit card for $3,000, and it turns into a gift box labeled health asset.
This is a crucial distinction the source makes. They anticipate the objection. I don't want to spend $3,000, and the dossier argues this is not consumption. You aren't buying a TV that loses value. You're receiving a suite of top-tier health products. You are locking in health.
I love the phrasing they use here. The money isn't spent. It's simply changed form to accompany you. Very poetic.
It is. From their perspective, the business opportunity, the chance to build this pipeline, is actually a free bonus attached to the purchase of these health assets. You capitalize your own health to trigger a wealth algorithm.
And they contrast this with the traditional model of business. One slide shows a vision anchor, 6 McDonald's franchises.
This is what they call the command approach. I mean, think about what it takes to own 6 McDonald's. You're talking millions in franchise fees, real estate, staffing.
The overhead, the risk.
Extreme risk. That's a heavy bucket to carry, even if it pays well. Versus their commando model, $3,000 in capital plus execution. And the goal is incredibly bold. Within 10 months, own a 3-system account that generates the net profit of those 6 franchises.
6 McDonald's worth of profit for $3,000 entry and finding 3 people. I mean, if the math wasn't right there on the page, I'd say it sounds impossible.
Well, that is the promise of the 12-cycle superposition. And they have the numbers to back it up, assuming, and this is the big assumption, perfect replication.
Let's get into those numbers. There's a slide here. Numbers don't lie, and it's just a massive spreadsheet. We geeked out over this for a while before the show. The scale is just hard to wrap your head around.
We did. It compares the standard growth index against the Power Index Plus model, generation by generation.
So generation 1 is small, 3 people. But let's fast forward. Let's jump down to generation 12.
Okay. So under standard exponential growth, that flat math generation 12 gives you a volume of about 530,000, which is impressive on its own.
Sure. $500,000 in volume is nothing to sneeze at. But then you look at the column for the double layer, the $10 dollar.
It's over 1.19 million.
It's more than double.
Because of the volume.
Yeah.
Because of the stacking. And that volume translates directly into income, which the source breaks down into 2 structures. Structure I is what they call stabilized cash flow, the CAP.
This part just blew my mind. They call it a safety net. Usually a safety net is, a savings account.
Yes. Here, the safety net has a weekly cap of $21,000. Which comes out to an annual cap of $1,092,000.
$1 million a year. And the slide literally calls it the safety net design.
It frames $1 million a year as the baseline. That's just the income meant to protect the system's stability. But then there's structure 2.
The infinite, the leadership bonus.
And this is where the chart just gets insane. The multiplier for the leadership bonus is 167 times the cap income. The potential number cited in the source, and I'm reading this verbatim, is $182,309,400.
Wow, $182 million.
Yeah.
That's like the GDP of a small country.
It's staggering, but it connects back to the core logic. If you build a pipeline that serves a massive network and you're capturing the volume of that entire network, the numbers are supposed to look like phone numbers.
It's the difference between owning the burger joint and owning the franchise rights to the entire country.
Exactly. And that leads to the strategy, because when you see those numbers, you might think, okay, I'll get to it eventually, but the source is very clear. You can't just stumble into this. You have to seize the node.
Seize nodes. It sounds like a military operation.
It effectively is. The source claims the nodes account for 95% of the total income. It says, and I'm quoting here, 1 minute late, and you could be ranked below a future billionaire.
That urgency is palpable. Now is the moment to seize the tip of the pyramid. It's all about positioning.
It's simple geometry again. In a pyramid structure, being one layer higher matters exponentially. If you hesitate, you lose out on that entire layer of stacked time we talked about.
So let's talk about the who.
Yeah.
Because the source is blunt. This is not for everyone. They have a slide called the filter.
We're not looking for tourists. I kind of appreciate the directness. They are filtering for captains.
And they break it down into 3 tests to see if you qualify.
Right. Test 1 is ambition. Are you a consumer or a captain? Do you just want the health products or do you want to pilot the jet?
It's a mindset check right off the bat.
Test 2, commitment. Are you ready with the $3,000? It's a binary check, a yes or no.
And test 3,
Test 3 is compliance. Can you listen and execute?
that last one's interesting. Compliance. Usually you think of entrepreneurs as rebels, right? But here they want compliance.
It's crucial for a replication model. If you try to reinvent the wheel, the duplication breaks. The 3x3 model only works if the 3 you find also follow the system.
Exactly.
If you get fancy, the pipeline clogs.
So if someone's listening to this and they're thinking, okay, I'm a captain, I see the green line, I want the pipeline, what does the source say they actually need to do right now?
The action directives are very concise. 3 steps. Step 1, lock position. Secure the node. That's money on the table.
That's the seize moment.
Step 2, sign convention. That's the contract. You formalize the partnership, make it real.
And step 3,
Find your tribe. Your first month has one singular goal. Find your 3 people.
that's it, just 3.
That's the trigger. You ignite the reaction. Once you have your 3 and you teach them to get their 3, the 12-cycle superposition takes over. You move from labor to leverage.
You know, that final slide really sums up the attitude of this whole proposal. It's an image of a fighter jet just peeling away into the sky.
Be a spectator versus be a captain.
And the text, may your choice be worthy of your ambition. That hits hard. It really is a challenge.
It is. It's putting the responsibility squarely on you. The source is presenting a vehicle, a mathematical model, a product, a strategy, but the vehicle doesn't fly itself. It needs a pilot.
It really reframes the whole concept of risk, doesn't it? The bucket carrier thinks the risk is losing the $3,000.
But the pipeline builder thinks the risk is missing out on the 12th cycle. That's the awakening. Once you understand the volume, the cost of inaction becomes infinitely higher than the cost of entry.
So that brings us right back to where we started. The golden coin, the 3 symbols.
The rusty bucket versus the golden pipeline. We've decoded the formula, we've looked at the PM model, seen how stacked time creates that vertical green line. The math is laid out, the mechanism is clear.
The only variable left is you, the listener.
Right. The source ends with a simple call to action, a wealth awakening. It just asks, can you commit to the initial input? And can you promise to find 3 partners who share this vision?
3 commando unit. See you at the summit. That's the sign-off in the dossier.
A powerful invitation.
So here's the question we're leaving you with today. You've seen the blueprint. You understand the Power Index Plus. When you wake up tomorrow morning, are you going to pick up a bucket? Or are you going to start laying the first pipe of a system that can feed you for a lifetime?
The choice, as they say, is yours.
Thanks for diving deep with us on the Power Index Plus. We'll catch you on the next wave.